let's go with Mayank Agarwal first, right? Not your first, second, or third choice in the initial super overs. He pulls off that extraordinary save of the last ball of the second super over, the first innings of that second super over, and then smashes a couple of boundaries to just seal the deal. Just take me through Mayank first in that second super over.
It's again a matter of confidence, isn't it? This IPL has been great for him. He had a blazing start, and in fact, when he gets going, KL Rahul takes a backseat. So this is a guy who, when he was around under 19 level, 20 years old, he was a bit of a dasher, but then became this, guy who got the big scores. But this game was always there, and all it needed was a little bit of boost of confidence, and that is what has happened this IPL. And he's a very committed, sincere guy. And, when Chris Gale hit that six,
Yeah.
then the stage was set for Mayank Agarwal, because if, it was entirely up to him, would have been a bit too much.
Let's talk about two outstanding overs bowled by Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami.
I mean, Bumrah in the main game as well, 3 wickets, and the wickets of, Rahul, Puran and Mayank. So it was a tremendous effort. And every time you see a threat, Rohit Sharma gives the ball to Bumrah, and like magic, he makes the threat disappear. This time it was Puran, Rahul with that Yorker, and again the super over, brilliant. And then Shami comes in and does the same. So, this shows that Indian cricket has some quality seam bowlers. The other thing that I started wondering is, in the super over, how do people like Shami and get the act right, whether they're cornered so much, and because it's just one over, the focus is so much in that over that he nailed all those Yorkers, and we haven't seen that happen with Shami as much. So funny things happen in the super over. We had Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma both trying to play shots that they've never played before, So once it's super over, it's more nerves and less about power and the other things that come along.
What about the choice of the Mumbai Indians to send de Kock and Rohit Sharma for that first super over? Kumar Sangakkara on commentary said, the guys, you should have sent a Pollard and Pandey. They just need to get one boundary away, job done. You send traditional batsmen and they try to do something different. Did you think that was an error?
I thought they sent Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma came with Quinton de Kock because the target was small.
Yes.
If it was a bigger one, then I'm sure Pollard and Hardik Pandya would have come in. And even then, you would I think this is a lesson for Rohit Sharma, that when you have a super over, you've got to look in your batting unit and judge who are the guys who can hit the first ball for a 6 or maximize 6 balls. Is it Rohit Sharma, Quinton de Kock, Pollard, or Hardik Pandya? And you would perhaps say Pollard because he does this as regular business. Hardik Pandya, we've seen do this very often. So they would have been ideal choice. But I don't think it was a blunder purely because of the target that they wanted to reach. It wasn't a big one. And it was just about, them playing normal cricket. But the nerves got to both Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock for the shots that they attempted.
All right. Let's go to the real-time game now and try and make sense of how this
Which happened last night.
Super over. Yeah, it feels like an age ago that this has happened.
Yeah.
But it is another case. I'm sure even though Kings 11 have got the points, there would be some kind of discussion on why KL Rahul, as good as he is not able to actually take his team over the line himself.
See, I looked at some stats. In fact, I asked the Cricinfo stats people to send me KL Rahul's chases. And, he's done really well. Because, sometimes you get a feeling about a batsman that he's not able to finish off things, pretends to sort of the pretender to win the game. And this is what I was looking out for as well, because it was a brilliant innings, not the ones that we've seen in recent past from KL Rahul. The strike rate in the end was 145, 150. And I wanted him to finish the inning, but didn't happen. He tried to, I think, glide that Yorker more than actually defend it. But he's played these kind of innings in the IPL. So he's not one of those guys who cannot chase, just sort of, take it close to the target and the nerves get the better of him and he's not able to finish it. No, KL Rahul isn't that kind of a guy because his track record doesn't say so. Having said that, really happy with the way he batted today, and a lesson learned for Kings 11 Punjab as well. Because when you start trusting the other people, what was really nice to see is that they used up their resources. Maxwell failed, Puran got a few runs, but they found Deepak Hooda. So, if they start trusting their depth a little more. There'll always be somebody who's the night would belong to him, and he would just help his team win. So this thing about conserving wickets, not trusting the rest of the players. I thought today KL Rahul went with a different mindset. You could see that he was just blazing away right from the start.
Yeah, saw that intent from him. Now, and Chris Jordan copped a lot of criticism on social media at the end of that real-time game, but let's leave poor Chris Jordan out. I know where you stand on this pressure and a bowler.
Wasn't he involved with that short run as well? Started the
He was.
IPL.
He was the man
Yeah.
involved in the short run, and it was, of course, running around in this situation with the last run needed. But let's take since Kings have won this, we'll give Jordan a get out of jail card for this.
Let's actually address that point as well, because I
Okay,
feel it's really unfair for a batsman or a player who bats at number 8, 9 and under pressure to be running in that fashion. That was a very small event, and it wasn't the event as to why Kings and Punjab didn't win that first super over. So it's a little unfair to pick out Chris Jordan, because there were a lot of mistakes made in the whole game, and to pick out a guy who is there in the team for his bowling, for the way he ran, and in a real pressure situation, it's a little unfair.
Fair enough. Now, the other way around, if you look at Mumbai, who actually dropped 2 points and lost another super over, they lost against RCB. They've lost 2 super overs today. If we assess their bowling, 176, was that the kind of score that Mumbai's bowling with the kind of reputation and form it's built should have defended? And is there a case to perhaps just have a look at the support fast bowling for Jasprit Bumrah after today?
See, it's a good thing that you have these kind of sort of reality checks. And, they looked really watertight. Their spin department is looking good. And today as well, once again, Cheher impressed. Kunal, didn't bowl his full quota, but he contributed with the bat. Seam bowling. Last week we were talking about how good their seam bowling is. And it looked even better than last year, because Bolt was bowling well and Pattinson was bowling well. But let's look at Bolt as an IPL bowler over the years. He's played for other franchises as well. Other franchises have dropped him too. And my memory, just watching Bolt over the years, I look at Bolt and I see Bolt as a great test bowler, but not as an exceptional T20 bowler. And if you have recordings of what I said right at the start, I felt McClenaghan, having been there and done that for Mumbai Indians, should have been the first choice. But they've gone for Trent Bolt, and he did pretty well. But he's one of those guys who is a bit of a gamble and can be vulnerable in a pressure situation. He's just a bit too clean, tries to get in the Yorkers, doesn't get it right. And Coulter-Nile, Pattinson, well, today we saw that Coulter-Nile relies a lot on the slow deliveries. And because of that, he's not able to hit that narrow corridor. So there's always an opportunity on either side for the batsman to score. So if Pattinson is fit, then maybe he should be the choice above Nathan Coulter-Nile. And again, Ronaget tells you that a batting contribution was made by Coulter-Nile. But if you don't do your first job really well, your team doesn't quite benefit.